the street, 919fm.com. Here's what's happening.
Good afternoon. I am Vanessa Thomas with the 12 o'clock news on the street, 919 FM, and online, Facebook and YouTube. In the headlines, Finance Minister Colm Imbert says TNT's economy grew by $5 billion in the third quarter. Former footballer Amount 2 shot dead by police in alleged robbery. Government moving ahead with vaccines for children, and internationally Shanghai residents running out of food in COVID lockdown. And now the news in detail. Finance Minister Colm Imbert says despite the economic hardships brought on by the COVID-19 pandemic, TNT's gross domestic product increased in the third quarter of 2021. Speaking during a People's National Movement meeting at the Diego Martin South Community Center on Tuesday night, Imbert said the GDP increased by about $5 billion in the third quarter of 2021. He credited the government's social and business support programs during the height of the pandemic for this growth, saying they were able to keep the different sectors afloat. The finance minister said he wanted to reveal the data to dispel the misinformation that was in the public domain. In other news, former national football player Akeem Benjamin was among two men who were shot dead by police after a shootout at the abandoned Flavorite ice cream factory off Boundary Road in El Socorro yesterday. Police say at about 12:20 p.m., officers on patrol got information that men were seen lurking on the compound of the abandoned factory. When they arrived at the scene, the officers say they saw a man jumping a fence and running off, while two other men ran into a room in the abandoned building. Officers said the men in the building fired shots at them and they returned gunfire, hitting the men. They were taken to the Eric Williams Medical Sciences Complex in Mount Hope, where they were pronounced dead on arrival. One of the men was later identified as Akeem Battery Benjamin, 32, of Berktrace Barataria, while the other man remained unidentified up to news time. Benjamin was said to be a former national football player who played as a defender and who also played for several Pro League football clubs, including San Juan Jablotay, W Connection, and Central FC. A revolver and a pistol were allegedly seized from the men. Police believe the men may have been on the compound to steal scrap iron. In more news, government is moving ahead with its plans to vaccinate the nation's children. The Ministry of Health says it is in the final stages of getting a donation of Pfizer COVID-19 vaccines for children aged 5 to 11 into the country. Almost 2 weeks ago, Health Minister Terence Dialsing announced in Parliament that Trinidad and Tobago had been given 40,000 pediatric vaccines by the government of Spain. Dialsing at the time had further revealed that TNT is still in ongoing discussions with Pfizer to acquire enough vaccines to vaccinate 120,000 children. Internationally, some residents under lockdown in Shanghai say they are running out of food amid the city's biggest ever COVID outbreak. Residents are confined to their homes, banned from leaving for even essential reasons, such as grocery shopping. Nearly 20,000 new infection cases were reported on Thursday in China's biggest city, another near record high. Officials have admitted the city is facing difficulties but say they are trying to improve this. And that was the 12 o'clock news on the street, 919 FM, and online, Facebook and YouTube. Recapping the headlines, Finance Minister Colm Imbert says TNT's economy grew by $5 billion in the third quarter. Former footballer Amount 2 shot dead by police in alleged robbery. Government moving ahead with vaccines for children, and internationally Shanghai residents running out of food in COVID lockdown. Do enjoy your afternoon and continue to be safe. I am Vanessa Thomas.
street919fm.com. Broadcasting from Trinidad to the world. The street919fm.com. The street919fm.com. The official station that defends the nation.
Yeah, man, I know you're going through stress in your life right now. But this one is for all my brothers and my sisters that are going through all the struggles in life. Remember, count it all joy to trials and tribulation. Yeah, man. Jah come lead the way.